What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's Brendan. I'm BManX45, and today we're coming at you with another video. We have our deck excitement list, our not-so tier list for EX11 Dawn of Liberator. This is the last part of our three-part series that we do for every set. We're here to bring it home with looking at the different decks that we are excited to build, and you know what we're going to be doing for this format. You know, which ones we're excited for, which ones we're not as excited for, which ones we don't really care about. Again, this isn't a tier list. This is just kind of a, you know, this is what we really are excited to try and learn how to play or to rebuild with the new support. And so we're going to be looking through all the cards here and just having some fun here. And of course, you know, we have our categories here. We got to get into this thing here and change them up here. We have... we're super excited. Am hoping to build. Would be nice to build. And couldn't care less. And as always, in honor of one of my favorite sci-fis, don't give a frel. And if you've watched Farscape, you know what that means. But let's get into it here. Let's take a look at all these neat decks, talk about them, talk about what we're excited about them, about the support, and just take a look at what we're going to be getting into in EX11, which should be coming out this Friday, but there might be a delay. I don't know if the delay is just North America or Canada or what it is, but I did get a notification there might be a delay. But it's supposed to come out this Friday, so let's get into the video. And hey, if you enjoy this type of content, be sure to smash that like button, comment down below. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Subscribe to the channel and hit that bell for notifications so you don't miss a single minute of the fun. And we're starting right off the bat here with Tyrannomon. Tyrannomon, I do like Tyrannomon. It's a cool deck, a green. It's about time that Tyrannomon got some real love because he didn't have enough good support to build a deck. And finally, in the first time since Liberator, you've gotten Tamers and like level 5s and level 6s that actually do something. I don't know if Tyrannomon's really where I would say I would want him to be to play him again. I would say I would put him in the be nice to build category, but I still feel like the deck's missing a lot. And I think that we just need to see more of that Tyrannomon support. And it doesn't even have to be, you know, Master Tyrannomon. You could have him switch gears and do a Rust Tyrannomon level 6 in one set, just because they did do Metal Drammon in the first one. So it's not all about the red. It's not all about the red green line. It's also, you know, you can work in the green black line. So I think it'd be nice to build, but it's not at that place where I want to be. I really like Scadimon right now, so I'm kind of feeling like I'm actually still enjoying a Manusimon that I might be, you know, I would probably want to just play it next format, right? Just keep playing it, keep, you know, you're seeing what the new support adds to it, and keep playing the deck. So I think that I'm kind of excited. I'm really excited to continue playing the Manusimon deck or the Scadimon deck because I love the level 7 so much, and I just think like more cards we have for the deck, the better. And so yeah, super excited for that. We have Scadimon. Scadimon's the one that I want to be excited about, but I feel like I couldn't care less just because I just don't care too much about the line right now. Like, it's got jamming, it's got security type +1, it's got a whole bunch of different things, but I just don't feel like it's in my wheelhouse at this current moment. So I couldn't care less about Scadimon and its support line. I mean, it looks cool. The yellow, blue, and the ice trade is cool. I was a little more interested in the, you know, the what's his name from EX7, Hexablaumon, having its own deck and stuff like that, but that kind of just devolved into him being a support character. But I think this, you know, eventually we could get some good stuff for this, but it's just not in a place where I would care to build it right now. But on the other hand, this blue deck is somewhere that I would be super excited, or I've wanted to build. I wanted to build the Aqua deck for a while now. Yao, Quinlan, Sangomon. They're all really great cards, and I've wanted to actually build this for a while. There's always just something more interesting in the format for a blue deck, and so I just kind of never got to build it. But I definitely think I'm going to build Ryugamon this format and try out all the cool Aqua and Mollusk and all that cool stuff, and the decoding and just all the other shenanigans the deck does, because I think it's really cool about how, you can get rid of sources, bring sources back, just some cool blue shenanigans. Kaguyamon, I would say I would love to play a pure Kaguyamon deck with the support we got back in EX9 and the new support. I think it'd be really cool. I do like the Kaguyamon variant, the purple-yellow variant of the deck, more so than I do the Scadimon variant. So I'm actually really excited for that, and I think that I'm leaning towards building that. Whereas if I go with Scadimon, I would say I don't even know if I'm hoping to build that. I'd say I'd be hoping to build puppets in its pure form, but at the same time, the Kaguyamon's a little bit more on my mind right now than the regular puppet deck. Maybe I'll compromise and do a combination again between the two, but I think I'm more excited for Kaguyamon, but I'm hoping to try out Scadimon as well. And we got a long format, so I might switch between the two. And this one's funny because I got 3 pictures for the same deck, but because they look so good. So this is all Zephagamon. Come on. Doesn't want to work. There we go. This is all Zephagamon right here. I just like the alt art pictures so much because they all look really, really good that I'm going to put them all up. So this is all Zephagamon right here, but it's like we're going to use all 3 pictures because I am pumped for everything Zephagamon in this set. The Tyrannomon, the Galemon, the Grand Galemon, the unique emblem, the new level 6, and the level 7 that reminds me of either like the dragon from the Neverending Story or one of the dragons from the Breath of the Wild series from Zelda. It's just so good, and I'm excited for all of it. And it's like the fulfillment of the deck, and I think it's finally going to be at a place where it can be super. It's already competitive, but it's moving green towards a better place. A lot of the new abilities when moving, winning a battle rather than deleting a Digimon by battle. So many good effects, and I think it's moving the whole deck in the right place. And the artwork for like this, and the whole Muchomon, Tyrannomon, Tamer thing, it's just so good. So I'm super excited. So excited that I had 3 pictures for the same deck. Then we get to Invisimon. I couldn't give a frell about Invisimon personally. I just, he was cool as a support card in in Galaxy, but at this current moment, I just don't really give too much care to. I just don't give too much care to the Invisimon, the Altea build. It's just not something I've been super stoked or excited about. But I mean, I can see why it's good, and it has got some cool stuff in it. So I mean, eventually maybe I'd play it, but it's just not on my priority list, as obviously stated. We also have Paridimon. I feel like I'm hoping to build Paridimon. I know I've built it twice already, so it's kind of like one of those things that's like I'd like to try something different, but at the same time I love Paridimon, so I'm like, oh, I should just build this. But with that, I'm more interested in, because I haven't played Galacticmon yet, so I think I'm more interested in trying out Galacticmon, and I'm super excited for that. More support. Plus, I have everything else already to play the deck, so I kind of like that portion of it, whereas I'm less excited to build Paridimon because I like the OTK variant, but it kind of went to the control variant, and I just don't know where the deck's going now, if it's going back to the OTK, or I think it's still staying around the control variant of it, and I just think I'd like to try something different for a black deck, so that's why I'm more excited for Galacticmon than I am for Paridimon, but I might end up building Paridimon too because I know the deck a lot better, so I am hoping to build it anyways. We have the Heavy Metal Drammon. I am very excited for Heavy Metal Drammon. I really want to play this deck again. I think now it's got so many lines of support. There's so many options. You can make a really good deck out of this, whereas you were limited before. And I think you have tons of good Tamers, tons of good level 6s. It's just the deck is way more flushed out. And I feel like there could be like a Chaos Gallantmon coming. Like, I feel like Yuki could be like that kind of, just like Shoto, like where she gets 2 Digimon, like how Muchomon and Terramon are kind of like both his kind of partner Digimon. I feel like Yuki could get like a purple, like a dark Guillaumon and have like the Chaos Gallantmon as her second Digimon, just because there was the Chaos Gallantmon line or the Megidramon line from BT24 that was kind of tailor-made for Heavy Metal Drammon. That's just kind of my thoughts. That could be an interesting crossover that they do, or that the two engines could just work together really well and we could eventually get a really cool Chaos Gallantmon. So that's what I'm hoping, but I'm really excited to try the deck as is in EX11, and I think it'll be really good. And then, of course, we also have Necromon. Necromon would be nice to build. I like Necromon. It's a cool deck. It's always really fun, but I mean, I played the Duhalamon stuff last format, and it's still a bit of a difficult deck to play sometimes. I feel like a lot of the lower level stuff, retaliation is just not as good of anything. Just being able to give yourself retaliation is just not a super good ability. There's so many ways that your opponent can out retaliation, and that's kind of like, that's not really that fun. But so it'd be nice to build, but it's not kind of something I'm really hoping for. We have Omekamon, so we have Royal Knights. That's something else that would be nice to build. I wouldn't mind being able to build another Royal Knight deck. Again, I'm not really high on my priority. Megazoo decks are kind of hit or miss for me. And there's only so much Royal Knights I can play. But it's a great card and a great support for the deck. So I definitely think Royal Knights could be very good this format. It'd be nice to give it a try. But, again, not high on my priority list. But I could see it being very good. We have Machinamon. I couldn't care less about this deck, honestly. It looks cool, but I just couldn't care less right now. And it's technically only got limited line support, because you do get 2 lines of green and black. But generally, that's not enough to make a deck work the first go around. The abilities are usually not enough. Like, you think about Imperial Dramon, and you have several different lines from several different sets making up the consistency that makes up Imperial Dramon back in BT16 and BT17, and how it made that deck so good. So DNA decks, I feel like you can't get a good DNA deck all in one go. Same with Omnimon. It took several sets to make that DNA Omnimon deck as competitive as it was. So I feel like there's no way that this is going to be as consistent as it needs to be to kind of compete in a format. And so I'm kind of like, I'm not going to go all in on it right away. I'd rather wait to see what else they bring that can potentially support the deck in the future. We'll see. Maybe it'll be really good. Maybe it'll be really consistent. I'll be like, oh no, I should have tried this out. But right now, I just couldn't care less about the deck. We also have our Beemon deck. I would say I would be hoping to build our Royal Base deck. I'm so all in on Zephagamon and Vortex Warriors that I'm just kind of like, I would love to build this. Maybe I could build that as my black deck if I don't end up building Paridimon, or if I don't end up building Galacticmon. That's an option too. I do like the Royal Base stuff, and I would love to try it out again. So I would say I'm hoping to build this, and hoping to see what it can do now, because there's so many good cards for the deck, and everything's X antibody. So Protoform's like stupid in this deck. So that's always great. And then of course we also have our Tamers for support, which is the only really generic support for other decks we have. We have Lusamon support. Be nice to build, but I don't think I'm going to get to it, just because it does a little bit for the deck, and I do like that. But I feel like we require more Lusamon support to make the deck super playable again. I feel like it's in a decent place, especially with this Tamer, but everything's getting power crept, so a lot of the old stuff needs update or some kind of refresh, and there needs to be a few new cards to kind of just push this a little bit further. But maybe we did get a lot in EX10. I just didn't feel it was like it didn't do a whole lot. Like, it did a lot for the deck, but not enough to bring it into current like competition. There was a few people that did manage to top with a Lusamon deck, so that was kind of cool. This makes that even better, but I think we're so far removed from that point where EX10 was, that's 6 months ago, that it still won't do enough. So it'd be nice to build, but I'm not thinking I'll get done. The NSO Tamer, I couldn't care less about this. I do like NSO. I think Nightmare Soldiers is really cool. I just kind of wish like it didn't use like other guys like Paridimon that are Dark Masters to kind of supplement its roles, because then you get Paridimons that aren't Dark Masters, and I feel like that just kind of just drains the whole like purpose of that card. But I think like it's a decent Tamer, and I think it'll give the deck a lot of support. I just hope that we get a little bit more Nightmare Soldier support in the future to kind of make this a little bit better. And then the Composite Tamer, I couldn't care about that. I'd like to build Millenniummon someday, but right now I just don't care. And I'm glad though that the deck is getting a Tamer, and hopefully that will give it some good support, especially we just got the promo on BT24, so that could be really cool as well. But just not where I'm at right now. But hey, there is our deck excitement list. You can see it very well. And then, like I said, I think I got everything this time around. But if you don't agree with me, you think you're excited for these two decks here, I'm happy for you. Just not something on my list. Again, it's not a tier list, so I'm not saying that like all this stuff is the best. I'm just saying this is what kind of I'm looking more for this set rather than the stuff on the bottom here. And there's a lot of stuff in the middle that I would love to build, but I just don't know where I'm going to find the time for it. But we do have a extra long format because we only have 8001 reprint booster coming in March, and then we have May till end of May before we see the next set. So let me know down below what you guys think. Did you guys enjoy the deck excitement list as always? And hopefully you guys enjoy this series every time, because we love making it. It's one of our favorite videos. Looks like that's all the time we have for this video. Thank you very much for tuning in. We hope to see you in the next video. And as always, have a wonderful day. And that's all for now, folks.